Okay, so now let's talk about that far hip position, but in the crab ride configuration as opposed to the berimbolo configuration, all right? So if we just teleport into that position again, or if we get to it from the bolo and we're in the top position like Nick talked about, we're blading away, we can see the leg is in between. And if we just change that and we put the crab hook in there, we can then start to come up and look for our finishes, all right? We're going to talk about these entries and stuff and switching from crab to bolo. And there's different ways that can happen for sure. Starting in De La Riva is great, but for right now, we're just going to kind of teleport into it. So we lift our hips up because his hips are down. I have the hip grip. I shoot across. I lock in. Far hip is pinned with my back leg. I'm in the crab ride. Now, my opponent can be near hip, can be middle hip, can be far hip, like so. When my opponent is far hip, I'm always going to be looking to come up. The same that we come up to top bolo in the berimbolo configuration, like this, we're going to do that in the crab ride configuration. And the way I'm going to do that is by moving myself up to my elbow, and I can even utilize this back leg by going up. I can move my foot if I need to, even higher to open up that elbow if necessary. I'm connecting my knee and elbow together, driving everything in, pinching, and now I'm able to start finishing kind of like a leg drag, pinning everything down where my opponent has their bottom hip pinned and the top hip is kind of holding that in place. All right. So now I can start sliding my grip up, pinning everything down. I can finish that leg drag going around to the side, knee on belly, stepping across towards the mount. And of course, if he flattens out, I can get the mount. But for right now, we're just going to keep rotating around that corner so we can chair sit with our knee underneath our opponent's head. I have this grip that I slid up on the collar. I'm just going to keep that. So I have the back of the collar. I have the front of the collar. And as I fold my hip in, can we spin a little bit? As I fold my toes in rather, here, I can now sit on my butt, pull my opponent on top of me. I can use my knee to wedge him in place and place my hook. And I can start to attack, all right? So again, you get in here however you like. We can go use the knee, pin that hip, shoot across, and now I start to open up my elbow, use my foot up, pinch, far hip. So I pin everything down to the far side, bring my chest over the top, and I have a couple of options here. If I feel him starting to turn towards me and I want to finish that pass, I'm going to bring my head to that bottom shoulder, hips come nice and high, rotate myself around, and I can finish that leg drag pass. We're looking for the back take, of course, which is, I feel, a lot more fun. So I can try to use my chest as a wedge to block, or my shoulder as a wedge to block his shoulder. So I can reach up, I can grab that shoulder or the back of his collar. Either one is fine. And now it makes it very difficult for my opponent to start turning in. And I can even kickstand this other leg as I start to turn around. All right, now it's very difficult for him to turn because I have a knee framing his hip, keeping him far hip, a shoulder blocking, keeping him to that side. And now I have a very easy option here where I can bring myself up higher. I can put that foot in, and now I can start to fold my leg, pull him back across, and finish the back take like we just showed. All right, now, if my opponent, when I get around to here, he starts to turn away from me, notice how there's a space right here that has to open up. There's no way for him to build his base without opening up this space. So as soon as he starts to turn, all I'm going to look to do is just insert that foot, and I'm going to go directly to the back, and that's fine as well, okay? So we can get there a couple of different ways. Now, I'm up. Far hip, I come top, I'm turning, I can start to slide myself up further, and I can start to go to the back. But what happens if as I come up to the top, right before I manage to fully get all the way on top, or as I'm getting all the way on top, he starts to frame me, okay? From here, I can't fully come up, so I can now, if he stays here, of course, I can start to, he's framing this shoulder, turn around and finish my pass like we talked about, but he's trying to frame me and trying to open this knee back up. So now I'm free to start attacking the other hip as he goes middle hip, or even turns all the way to his far hip. I'm free to invert under, and I can start to take his back on the other side, and we're going to teach that in a little bit. So just keep that in mind again. When your opponent is far hip, whether it's a berimbolo or crab ride configuration, we're coming top. We're going to take that top position. With that top position, we can go through all 3 boxes, and we'll talk about that in another video, but we can pass, we can take the back and continue to chase that back take, which is kind of what we showed here. All right.